whether you are on the lowest tier or the free tier or the highest tier, by you partnering with underrated individuals, you're helping us move the creative world forward and create story equity or equity in this environment for all. We don't want to sell to you. We really want you to excel. So if you can't afford anything that we've talked about, please still do reach out. Hey, what's happening, people? My name is Jerome Arab, for those of you who are tuning into our channel for the first time. This presentation is on our Artist Business Canvas, which is a resource to help creatives or artistic people or artists in general just elevate their business and understand their business better. It gives you a business plan. That being said, thank you, as I said, for tuning in, and let's get it unpacked. Business, the business model canvas was something that was created by Alex Osterwalder and Strategizer, and that heavily influenced the artist business canvas. It's not that I am taking these principles from the ether and recreating them. I've looked at a bunch of businesses that have implemented these principles and taken these principles and put them into our own canvas. And why I say ours is because it is for all of us as artists and creatives. Whether you're building a nonprofit organization or whether you are painting a picture, the principles apply. So please feel free to run your stuff through this canvas and start to see your business, on this, like, painted beautifully and communicated clearly. um, our mission is to empower creatives to realize their full potential as a company, underrated individuals. And this canvas, it transforms your artistic passion into a sustainable success. Why every artist needs a business plan. A business concept, it gives you structure, consistency, and accountability. Something that I think a lot of us struggle with, even in the coaching world, whether we're working with businesses or I'm personally working with executives of large companies or sports people, athletes. The role of a coach is accountability. And having a plan means you're able to look at that and go, ooh, I didn't do that. Accountability is needed for you to move forward. And consistency is needed in order for your brand to be recognized and for you to be recognized for what you're doing. If you are haphazard in what you do and you only have one thing coming out every like year or every 3 years, it means you haven't got the structures in place to actually leverage your creativity. So by building those structures, you're able to utilize your creativity in a way that helps you build a sustainable business. You need a business plan. As I said, this concept, this canvas is heavily influenced by the business model canvas, but the artist business canvas starts from purpose. That's the first thing we focus on. Business model canvas, value proposition. The artist business canvas is purpose driven. Your purpose, it gives you a decision-making framework that clarifies your vision and defines your mission. So you're able to say, when somebody goes, let's do this, you're able to go, that doesn't really resonate with what I'm trying to do. So me being me, I'm not going to lean into that. I'm going to do my thing. That decision-making framework is needed for you to move forward quick. So that's why we focus on purpose. About UI. So Underrated Individuals is on a mission to empower creators to realize their full potential. I am Jerome Arab, the founder and CEO, and I founded the concept in 2012. Like, I came up with the concept in 2012, sat in a room homeless. It was a dance studio called Studio 25 in Manchester. And I was on the reception, just desk, twiddling my thumbs, and I was speaking to a guy called Tom Malone, who was on Gogglebox. He's a dancer, UK break dancing champion. And I said to him, Tom, I want to start this crew called Underrated Individuals. Would you be part of it? And he was like, oh, tell me more about it. And I was like, Underrated Individuals is a crew that creates a platform for underutilized talent, people that just are being overlooked. I felt that I was being overlooked in that space because I'd won multiple awards and I'd done so much. But because I was homeless and just the maintenance guy, sweeping up studios and locking doors in order to have a roof over my head, I would watch people walk past me and not care about the information that I wanted to share with them, and they didn't see the value I actually brought. They're like, oh, that's Jerome, the guy, the cleaner, oh, that's Jerome, the guy that like fixes the lock. Oh, that's Jerome that cleans the toilet. But I was already awarded national colors in Zimbabwe for my contribution to the arts by the age of 16. I'd been on stage from the age of 6. I performed, in live events where there were thousands of people by the age of like 7, 8. So I felt I had so much to share, but there were no platforms for people who were going through what I was going through at the time. So that being said, 2012 is when we started to build this concept. 2013, we started the company in Zimbabwe. It didn't quite do well. 2014, opened a record label in the Netherlands. That closed down as well. But we're using it to distribute a lot of music. 2017, we opened up the company in Zambia and had an events company trying to make this artist thing work. And I just found I kept on coming short. But let's go into the UK 2021 founded underrated individuals out here because I'd moved here in 2020 after trying to go back and forth because my wife was still doing work out here. And when I founded it in the UK, I said I was going to go and study. So I went back and I did an online MBA. And I looked at and released a bunch of music and started to evaluate what the business was. What's the streaming business? What's this, how does sync work? How does that work? And try and understand it from the music element. Then I was like, oh, I want to go back into TV because I want to act. So I started to try things and study trends. And with the business qualification that I just got at the time, it opened up my eyes and I was like, okay, I see it now. I always understood business. I just didn't know the technicalities and the jargon that was being thrown around. Come 2022, I call this research and development 2.0. So yeah, I consulted for companies, some companies in South Africa, Germany, the UK, and the States, and Zambia. And I started to see some of the problems they're having. And culture became one of the main things that kept on popping up. Company culture, and, oh, okay, fine. And then I realized, oh, this is tied into the company's purpose. A lot of the companies hadn't really defined why they were operating. So it made it very hard for people to connect with them. So I ended up coaching a bunch of individuals within the companies to try and get them all on the same page. But they all had very different perspectives and visions and not one purpose. And that's why most of the companies were failing. I had come across the business model canvas studying in 2021, but didn't know how it applied to the creative world until I came across this purpose problem. And that's when I started to develop the ABC, Artist Business Canvas. And then I used that to start the flagship projects of Al Kebulon, which has turned into Al Kebulon Studios, Copper Bullet TV series, and Rise of the Ancients. That's another story. ABC Areas 2023, where I ran my company, Underrated Individuals, through the canvas. And it just helped me understand a go-to-market, easy go-to-market strategy, where I didn't have to get massive resources and have a bunch of campaigns and a bunch of videos going up. It was just like, say this, do this. And I was like, okay, cool. I can see it. Let's go. So my vision was clear, my mission was clear, and I started to communicate that with other people, and it brought people on board. We provided these people with creative assistance and coaching, so where they were struggling, we kind of fed that. And in 2024, we started community building. So we started our WhatsApp group and we started to build champions groups and start to do a bunch of things that drew people together and helped us understand how we would move. We're still getting it right. Like we're still touching base here and there and getting it wrong at the same time, but we're failing fast and we're learning quick. So moving on to boom. What is the Artist Business Canvas? It's a creative guide to building a thriving business. Let's unpack it. It's made up of 12 segments, or as we may say, 12 pillars, however you choose to view it. But we go purpose, form of expression, audience, community spaces, channels, types of communication, key activities, key partners, key resources, potential partners, cost structure, revenue streams. Some of these are already in the business model canvas. There's three segments that we've added. And the reason why we've added them is because as an artist, it's a very different environment. A lot of the time when you're creating, you can't start with the value proposition. You need to start with purpose. So it kind of looks like this. Boom. I don't know why I said boom, but boom. This is it. Unveiled. It seems simple, but you run these next few prompts and tell me if you see your vision more clearly after you run the prompts. I want you to be able to elevate yourself. And looking at this structure and putting it in place helps you see your business. We're going to go on to purpose because, as I said, that's where we build from. We're a purpose-driven company, and we heavily encourage everyone that works with us to start with purpose. If you can't start with purpose, you usually don't even marry. But if you're ready, dig in, and everyone has a purpose. Sometimes your purpose is big, sometimes it's small, but we all have a purpose. Here's the purpose prompt. Well, what is your purpose? Purpose is the heart of your creativity. It fuels your vision and connects you to the world. Here's the prompt that you can type into ChatGPT or Claude AI. And please do it, even as we're speaking, if you want to. Just type it in and interact with Claude and interact with ChatGPT and see what it gives you. I am a creative trying to understand my mission. Help me explore my purpose by asking me these questions in order. 1. What memories or experiences first sparked your creative journey? 2. When do you feel most alive while creating? 3. What problems or gaps do you see in your field that frustrate you? 4. What change would you most like to see in the world through your art? 5. Who are the people you most want to impact? You run this through, it will take you through it. And what tech has done is it's gifted me the opportunity to help coach you without having to invest all of my time. Because if I were to see 100 people in a day, I'd be exhausted. But you could take this prompt, 5,000 of you, and all run it. And it helps, like if you get stuck on anything, drop a comment on the video and we'll respond. Our team will be on top of it. But it means that we can reach you. So thank goodness that the systems are here. Let's utilize those systems to move ahead. Run the prompt. Tell me what you think. Drop it in the comments. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, let's unpack why and see how we can make it better. The next prompt is for your form of expression. By the way, in our course, we have another like 4 or 5 prompts within the purpose segment to help define certain elements. But for now, just take that one prompt and work with it. Trust me, it will open your eyes. So form of expression, it's your art. Your art is your voice. Let the world hear it loud and clear. Here's the prompt for ChatGPT or Claude AI. Let's explore my current creative expression. Help by asking these questions and making sure I am clear with my responses. 1, what medium do you feel most natural working in? 2, when did you first discover this form of expression? 3, what aspects of this medium especially excite you? 4, what unique perspective do you bring to this medium? 5, what stories can you tell best through this form? Do the same. Drag that, type it all up, put it in there, answer these questions. Come back and tell me if you don't feel like you're more clear on where you're going. Because as I said, if you don't, I will personally respond to your comment and help you unpack it. So we'll move on because I want you to see the scope of the full canvas. Next is your audience. Who are your audience? Who are your fans? The better you understand your audience, your fans, the deeper they understand your art. It's a very simple thing. It's a relationship. You're working to build this relationship. It's trust. They need to trust your brand. So take your time to look at them as individuals and not as customers. This is where I differ with most of the business model canvas. Business model canvas focuses on customer. We focus on audience and fans. It's a relationship. All the successful business people are not looking for one-off payments. They're not looking at the money. They're looking at the customer. They're looking at getting that person in the community and understanding how to serve that individual. It's very similar here. is you're not just trying to find somebody who's going to listen to your music once. You want somebody that's going to listen to it again and again and again and want to come to your shows and buy your merchandise. You're building a relationship. So that's your audience. Understand them. Community spaces. True growth happens where creatives and communities meet. Community spaces are just spaces where this audience that you've defined actually chill. Sometimes it might be they chill in your local bar or church or community center or Facebook group. It might be a WhatsApp group that they're part of and that you're part of. Where are the community spaces where your audience gather? We're going to move on to the last bit here, which is channels of this page. And then we're going to go on because, as I said, there's 12 segments. Channels. Your art deserves to be seen. Meet your audience where they already are. By you understanding where the community spaces lie, you now are able to see those channels that you need to go through. The way this is done, when you think about physical things, a channel would be if I have tomatoes and there's a market, the channel would be the road to that market to give you a visual understanding of it. So when you have a product, how do you get it to the consumer? In this case, when you have a message, what's the channel you utilize in order for you to get it to the audience? Okay, we're going to move on to next page here, which is now going to focus on type of communication. This is still related to the last three things we're talking about. Your story matters. Choose the right way to share it. Now, okay, same concept, if this is, us taking the channel to market, if I have food that has a shelf life that it needs to be refrigerated, okay, that type of communication matters. So it means I need to get a refrigerated truck to export it from here to here. Now, when we talk about the type of communication, if we were to break it down in an artist perspective, it's somebody who has visual content, like let's just say video, but they're writing a blog with absolutely no images attached to it. You've missed out on the type of communication. It's language. It's understanding that your audience might be slightly older, but you're there using slang and a bunch of terms that they don't understand. Type of communication matters. So we need you to unpack that and understand how you're going to speak to this audience once you've defined who they are and how you're going to then, based on the channel, how you're going to, which channels suit your communication. Key activities, focus on the essentials, the tasks that move your creative vision forward. Now, I can't emphasize on this. When you have no direction, no purpose, no mission, no vision, it's very easy to procrastinate. So now you're there doing a bunch of things that you don't need to be doing purely because you don't know what you're meant to be doing. Your key activities tell you exactly what you need to do in order to move the pen forward. Key partners and potential partners. These are two different segments, but I'll put them in one just to get you guys on the same page. And I'll explain the difference. So first and foremost, collaboration isn't addition. A lot of people think that collaboration is 5 + 5 = 10. No, it's multiplication. It's 5 × 5. And that gives you 25. When you have the right partners on board, it multiplies your impact and it multiplies your reach. It multiplies everything you're doing when you have the right partners, the right key partners in place. Okay, so potential partners are people that you could see yourself working with in the future. An example is my current key partners would be a couple of friends. I use Kazadi Films a lot when I'm in Zambia. Those of you who know, and those of you who don't know, Kazadi Films is David Kazadi, and he is a young filmmaker from London. He was born in Zambia, moved to London, and then studied and moved back, and now is doing some amazing stuff in Zambia. He's one of my key partners. So whenever I go back to Zambia, Kazadi Films and Fictive Studios, which is Juvencio Piri, I work with them. And also there's a guy called Gop Shots. So I've got these people that whenever I need to do stuff in Zambia, I call my key people and we work. Now, my potential partner in the future may be Netflix or Amazon or something along those lines. But everything that I'm doing now will affect whether or not that partnership will take place. Or it might be Nike. So with my key partners, I go and I create stuff and I make sure Nike is part of the branding. Let's just say we do a fake African Nike ad or a fake Puma ad, and then we put it out and Puma sees it. I'm using Puma because I've got this thing called African King. Um, and the concept is very simple, but it is a Puma concept that we did share. Now they're doing Puma Kings. Coincidence. But by me putting it out, this passion project with my key partners, it affects my potential partners. So just understanding that segment helps you see it with a very different perspective. Okay, we're gonna move on here. This is kind of the last page. You've got key resources. Your resources are the fuel for your creative engine. So it might be your laptop, it might be your microphone, it might be your light, it might be Canva, it might be QuickTime Player, it might be iMovie, it might be, Final Cut, you name it. Those are key resources. We'll go over to cost structure. And your cost structure, understanding your costs lets you create without limits. Most people go, no, because if my budget is so much, then I'm limited. No, your creativity is not limited. But if you wanted 6,000 lights and you can only afford 6,000 candles, then you buy the 6,000 candles and you create around them because you understand that the concept is to light 6,000, like give light to 6,000 people, let's just say. The concept is there. The limitation that you thought was a limitation, you have gone past because you understand what you're working with. It also helps you understand your day to day. Like you knowing what you're working with changes the way you attack your day. I have a clear understanding of what my cost structures are. So when I sit at the laptop, I'm usually trying to create, going, yep, I still need stuff going out. So yeah. Next is revenue streams. I love this. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. And that's intentional. Your passion can pay. Diversify your income, amplify your impact. Why I lifted my coffee cup right there is it's a Winnie the Pooh cup. If you're from my era, you'll remember Winnie the Pooh on TV. That was like a cartoon that we would watch. From that, they've made other movies. They've made merchandise, cups, mugs, stuffed animals. They have also gone as far as books. So they've diversified their income, which now has really thrown their impact and taken it to the next level. So when we talk about revenue streams, you're thinking about multiple ways of developing your IP so that you can make more money from it. That's what revenue streams do. Our promise to you: empowering creatives to realize their full potential by providing tools for both financial and creative satisfaction. Your creative journey supported every step of the way. That's our promise. So if you are struggling to get this thing off the ground, take some of the information we've shared, implement. You lose nothing. It'll take you 10 to 15 minutes of your time. And if it doesn't work, so what? Either you'll understand your purpose more clearly or you won't, but you'll probably get something from it anyway. We've got tiers, and a lot of the resources we provide are going to be free, but there's also some paid ones that are quite specific and help you move a lot quicker. So let's see what applies to you. You could join our tribe today. Subscribe to our newsletter or subscribe to our channel for free resources and UI updates. Join our WhatsApp community. That's free as well. You could just click on our website and you'll find there's links to all of this stuff there. Become a member. This is new for us. In 2025, we said we want to grow the community, but we want to also engage with creatives where we're going back and forth a little bit more We've got 20 spots for specific individuals handpicked. So if you feel you can't afford 24.99 a month euros, but you know that your art is there and it's ready to go and you need the support, maybe you can afford 100 euros for the whole year. How that works is we'll look at your profile and we'll arrange a call. And after we go back and forth, we'll decide whether or not you qualify for one of those positions, and then we'll take it from there. But if you can afford the 24.99 a month, that is amazing because here's the benefits of being a member. We've got another tier, but that's even more expensive than these two tiers. So we're not talking about it. It's for certain artists that are already established. So artist business canvas prompt course, you'll have access to that instantly, whether you're on the 24 or on the 99. Email support, where we're going back and forth. And whenever you have a problem, whether it's with a contract or whatever it is, you can email it to us and our team will look at it and send some notes back. We got group bi-monthly coaching calls. That's beginning and end of the month. Sometimes it might change and it might be middle of the month and end of the month. But we're going to have 2 calls every month where we understand what the problems are that the 20 handpicked creators are having. And we try and pick them so that they're in different fields to give us more scope. And they help us understand and refine some of those problems so we can give you specific solutions to those problems by working with these people. And that's where the group bi-monthly calls come into play. So you can email questions or you can ask questions on the day. But we're going to spend an hour unpacking a lot of these things. And then last but not least, you have access to international network of creators. Like this network of creators, people everywhere. And we're just trying to support each other to take each other to the next level. So please take the first step today. I know some of you be like, oh, that's the sales pitch. We don't want to sell to you. We really want you to excel. So if you can't afford anything that we've talked about, please still do reach out. As I said, if you can afford, you help us keep the company going so that we can support more people and come up with more free resources. So whether you are on the lowest tier or the free tier or the highest tier, by you partnering with underrated individuals, you're helping us move the creative world forward and create story equity or equity in this environment for all. I don't want people to go, oh, yeah, that's the whole point of this presentation. No, the point of this presentation is to empower you and help you move forward. I hope that reads clearly. One love. And we're about to, be out now. Let's see. Oh, we can stop sharing. Yeah, one love. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, like, drop comments, ask questions, reach out to the family, become part of us because I've built this company in a way where it is about you before I. No pun intended. One love, people. Stay blessed. And I hope this presentation has been insightful and has helped you move forward. Peace.